Okay, so last night I rewatched the movie Jimmy Reardon, which you might know as A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, or you might know as Jimmy Reardon, Aren't You Even Gonna Kiss Me Goodbye? And I've been like on a tear rewatching all of River Phoenix's movies. He's my favorite actor, and I'd seen this movie before. And somehow, when I watched it before, it was A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon. And when I bought it, I paid $8 for this movie. And I want my $8 back because I want the version that I saw the first time. And as I was watching this, I thought it was strange. Jimmy Reardon, Aren't You Even Gonna Kiss Me Goodbye? Like, it seems like the same movie, but it's called something a little bit different. Well, I found out when I started watching it. This is the director's cut. So what happened with this movie is William Richard wrote a book in 1966 called Aren't You Even Gonna Kiss Me Goodbye that was semi-autobiographical about Jimmy Reardon. Then he went on to direct this movie with River Phoenix that's based on the book. And everything that they filmed was turned over to 20th Century Fox, who edited it to make it essentially like a teen romance movie. And that's what it was. And it was cute. It was kind of fun, you know? And I guess William Richard did not like the way that it was edited at all. He didn't like the music that they put on it. He didn't like certain scenes. I guess they must have... Here's one big difference. So Jimmy Reardon is a character who's this sort of womanizer. He's a young boy trying to decide if he's going to go to the college that his dad wants him to go to, or if he's going to leave to Hawaii to follow his girlfriend. And in the meantime, he's just going around from like house to house, banging all these other people. Like, there's a girl at school that he's hooking up with who seems like he's his friend's girlfriend. Matthew Perry's in this movie. And it's kind of confusing because there's one night where they go out and he's trying to find someone for Matthew Perry to hook up with because Matthew Perry's character he's a virgin. And then it seems like his girlfriend is actually Ione Skye, but River Phoenix is like hooking up with her on the DL. So you tell me which one it is. Is Matthew Perry in a relationship and his best friend's, cheating with his girlfriend? Or, I mean, he could still be a virgin, but it would be weird that they went out and were looking for girls and then we're talking about it the next day in the car with Ione Skye in the car. That was confusing. But he's this kind of womanizing character, and his girl that he loves is called Lisa. And so the idea is that he genuinely loves Lisa, but he's also like banging his mom's best friend and his best friend's girlfriend and all these other people. Doesn't make sense to me. He hooked up with some girl and then she pretended that she needed money for an abortion when really she was just calling every guy who had ever hooked up with her and saying that she needed money and then cutting and run. So at the end, Lisa ends up going to this dance with another guy. She leaves the dance with the other guy. She tells him that she's going to lose her virginity to him. He's following them in his car, freaking out. They both pull over, and this new guy beats the crap out of River Phoenix's character, Jimmy Reardon. And then she's crying in the car, Lisa. Now, in A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, she gets out of the car and comes over and takes care of him. And it feels in that moment like maybe she's forgiving him for his faults, and maybe he is reevaluating his life and going to try and be a different person. That's in the 20th Century Fox cut. And the whole movie is narrated by River Phoenix. So somehow William Richard got his hands back on this and did a director's cut, which is what I watched last night. And let me tell you, it's not good. It's he changed the music, which I don't remember the music from before, so I didn't care. But he personally does the voiceover of Jimmy Reardon's character, which is very, very strange to have an adult man, and it's not as if you see him as an adult being played by William Richard and then you hear this voiceover. You only ever see the character as young River Phoenix, but then you're constantly having this voiceover that's somebody else. Very weird. Like in Stand By Me, there's an adult voiceover for Will, for, I can't remember his last name, Will Wheaton's character, but you see that grown man at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie, so it makes sense when you're hearing his voice. And then even though you're seeing Will Wheaton, it makes sense because you know who it is. In this movie, that's not the case. And he changes the ending so that instead of Lisa getting out of the car, she just drives away with the new boy. And then he crashes his car and his dad comes to get him, and he ends up telling his dad as they're on the train home that he's going to go to his dad's college, like how he wanted him to. And the voiceover sort of says, like, I didn't know if I really meant it or not, I just said it. So what are you supposed to conclude about the character? That he's had absolutely no arc at all? He was a liar at the beginning of the film. He's a liar still. He was a womanizer then. He's a womanizer still. What am I supposed to conclude about William Richard? I looked up what else he's done. He did The Man in the Iron Mask. I don't know if he directed that. That was just on his page when you look him up. I liked that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. And he was in My Own Private Idaho as an actor. He played Bob Pigeon, which apparently was at River Phoenix's insistence. And William Richard was very offended that River wanted him to play that character because he's like, dude, this is supposed to be some fat weirdo. Is that how you see me? And he refused to play that character, and so they had to hire somebody else. And then the day before they were going to film with him, River Phoenix called William Richard and said, hey, that other guy ended up getting fired. We need somebody tomorrow. Please come do it. And he was like, all right, fine. So he is Bob Pigeon, much to his reluctance, which, I don't know, seemed like a better role than Jimmy Reardon to me. I really disliked the director's cut of the film. So, and I also don't know where you can find the studio edit. So I was looking for it last night because I'm like, man, I want to rewatch the movie that I'd seen the first time, not this. And couldn't find it anywhere. So that's a bummer. And this is my PSA to you to know that if you want to watch it, you're not going to get the best version unless you have found The Night in the Life. And if so, let me know where you found it because I want to watch it. And also, have any of you read the book? I'm not going to read the book. I didn't like the book, or I didn't like the movie. It felt like it was trying to be artsy when it really was more fit to be a teen film. And it's not like I don't like an artsy movie, I do. But this just felt like it was trying to be that without really achieving it. Like maybe it was trying to be both teen film and artsy film at the same time, and it was really clashing as you're watching it. You can't figure out. It just was really aimless. So, River Phoenix is still great, but I did not appreciate the director's cut of that movie. That's all. Have a nice day.